Hello, 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 everyone. This is Valerie Harris, and this is your Stepping Up and Stepping Out series that airs every Tuesday at 7 o'clock p.m. And guys, I tell you this every week, but for those of you that have never been to this show, this series has been designed just for you, to inspire you, to encourage you, and to empower its listeners to step up and step out of your comfort zone. And as an author and a life empowerment coach, I work with working moms, women in leadership roles, and entrepreneurs to help them promote, to build, to grow, to invest, to embrace in their personal and professional goals and online presence. But guess what, guys? We have a guest tonight. And just to tell you a little bit about her, her name is C.D. Giles, and she is a romance writer, author, and speaker. And all the things that you see on the screen, I will put these up at the end. These are all the ways that you will be able to get in contact with her and purchase her books. And we're going to be talking about some of those things as I bring her up to the show in just a few minutes. But I just wanted to let you know who she is, and that we're gonna just have some real talk, because CD is a romantic at heart, and you're gonna hear about her storybook reunion with her husband that began when they were in junior high school, and after many years of bad timing and missed opportunities, the stars finally aligned during a group trip together as adults, and they've known each other for 23 years and have been married for 20 years. And I think that is such a blessing, that she's been married that long, and that union has remained. And it's just a blessing when you can stay married to the same person for that amount of years. And when she's not writing her latest romances, she's watching Romacon, and she spends time with her family in Texas, the hill country of Texas. And she's an author of a series called Could This Be Love? And For You to Love. And the books are available on Amazon and Barnes and Nobles. And also, I would like to tell you, she's also a huge fan of football, basketball, and baseball. And she has an 8-year-old German Shepherd named Lulu. But let me bring her out and introduce you to my dear friend tonight. Let me move her in here right quick. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, how you doing, Miss Val?
This is CD, everybody, and I want your ears open for this story that she's about to tell you, and the questions that we're going to be talking about, and it might spark something in your life that will help you. So, CD, I thank you so much for accepting the invitation to come out here and be with me on my live with Stepping Up with Talk Time Val.
Yes, I just thank you so much, Val. I've been looking forward to this. When we met back in Atlanta earlier this month, and you had mentioned your podcast and that you go live on Tuesdays. I was like, please sign me up. Whenever you got to do it, whenever you have time, I'll be happy to come on board.
Girl, I was glad to sign you up. Yes, yes, yes. So let's get right into it. Let's get into these nuggets. How did you start writing? How old were you when you started writing?
I actually just started writing within the last 2 years.
Okay.
It was really, I guess, with the pandemic, because, my day job before the pandemic, I was traveling really much. I was on the road 3 weeks out of the year, and 3 weeks out of the month. And so I was just, and when I wasn't on the road, I would be busy with family events, because the majority of our family lives in the same city. So we were always having birthday parties and going to movies and, all that stuff, having cookouts and all the good stuff. And so it really wasn't when the pandemic, and we know everything slowed down for all of us, for everybody. I think that's one event that we all pretty much had that same experience,
Yes. Yes.
And so with that pandemic, I think just with everything getting quiet, I ended up having a dream one night, and I dreamed that I was writing. I was in my office, in this office right here, at my computer, writing book one. And I was writing the dialogue. I could see, the characters. I really loved their banter, And I kept telling myself, don't forget it, whatever you don't forget it. Because it was like 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. It was an early girl. And I'm not a morning person. Okay.
Wow. Wow.
I'm not a morning person. And so I started forgetting it. So I jumped up and ran and got my laptop, got to the kitchen table, and I ended up writing for 4 hours straight. And after that, I never stopped writing until I finished the first book.
Wow. Wow.
Mhm.
So never as you were growing up, did you ever think about writing?
It's one of those things. It's like, duh, I should have, because at times I remember I would write a blog, but I would never publish it. I would write a short story, but I would never publish it.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't until I wrote this book, the first book, Could This Be Love, that I told my mom. I told her like it was a secret. I was like, Mom, I'm writing a book. And she was like, you come from a family of authors. And I'm like, I do? I think I may have knew one family member who had written a book and published, but I didn't know I came from a whole line of authors. So,
Wow, that's interesting.
mm-hmm,
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
that's very interesting. A whole line of authors, and you didn't even realize it. So it's in your blood.
Yeah, yeah. I love it, girl. I'm telling you, every time I have a free moment, I am writing. So I'm writing book 3 right now. Have other book ideas. I've already started writing down notes, because for book 4, I have the characters already for book 4, and sometimes they'll come to me and want me to write something down. So I write down what they tell me. So if I don't have like my computer with me, I always have my phone. So I'm either documenting it in my notes or on a voice memo. If I'm driving, I'm using a voice memo. But I would encourage anyone that either has kind of had that inkling of, I wonder, could I write? The answer is yes. I believe we all have a book in us, either from your experience or some kind of fiction or something that you would like to put out in the world. I believe we all have that. So if it's kind of, sometimes it's just that little whisper, that's something in the back that you go, it's kind of telling you, you should write that down. Because sometimes you'll think it, right? You're like, oh, that was good. Or you'll say something, you're like, oh, I like that. And you never know, it could be the springboard for a book.
Right.
So write it down. Write it down.
Write it down. Absolutely. I agree with you, because I remember when I was young, I was always scribbling on paper.
Yeah.
I always had paper, and I was always writing, and I used to love to write love stories and just had a diary. You know how the girls used to do back in the day.
Yep.
Had that diary going on. And so I understand, because I was always had a notebook and was writing or doing something with dealing with writing. So, but I never envisioned myself as an author, until later on in life. So that was different for me. Yeah. Yeah. So what is your writing process? I mean, what's entailed when you start writing, or when it hits you? What are some things that you could give as advice to some of the other people that might have been interested in writing, or writing a book or a blog or an article in a magazine? Because it's a whole lot to be. All of us have a story to tell. So I agree. Everybody has a book in them because they have a story.
I really believe that. And so I don't know. I think I may be a little unorthodox, so I'll just say that. But I write whatever comes to me at that time. And so what I mean by that is, I don't have an outline. I'm not writing sequentially. Like for Could This Be Love, I wrote chapter 1 first, because that's what came in the dream. And then the next day, I wrote the last chapter in the book. And then I came back to the middle. Okay. So I say all of that. For me, that process works for me. And it might work for someone else, because sometimes you get kind of wrapped around, oh my gosh, I'm not formally trained. I'm not an English lit teacher or professor.
And you don't have to be.
You don't have to be. You do not have to be. So I'm hoping that this will help someone else. Just write where you are. Start where you are. Don't throw up a lot of roadblocks, self-imposed roadblocks, because you think, oh, I may not be doing it right, or this is not how I saw it on YouTube, or I went to this expert, how we have all these master classes now, And you're like, well, I can't write like such and such. You need to write like you.
Yeah, and
You
be
need
your authentic self,
to
because
be authentic.
it's your experience, it's your
Yes,
story. And like you said, God will always put things in our spirit to write about. So
yes,
and it's up to us whether we get up and jot it down, because he's
yes.
always downloading things in our spirit, so it's up to us whether we get and make a move with it, because a lot of times he'll give you things and you get a little lazy or
Mhm.
lackadaisy, and you just don't move, and that's how you kind of miss out sometimes.
You do, because I'll just add to that, because sometimes, I mean, I've been guilty of it too. I was like, oh, I'll just write that down tomorrow.
Yeah.
And you're
And
going
you
and
forget it. You forget it.
you forget. You can't get it back, no matter how hard you try. You're like, what was it? If I don't, and nothing comes back. So you got to write it, and you got to stop what you're doing and write it down.
Yes, definitely. Wow. Hello, Gloria. How are you? Gloria says, good evening and blessings to everyone. How are you, dear? Yes. So now, do you find writing do it energize you when you begin to write?
It really does. I can tell you, this is a passion of mine. And something's a passion. I've had people say, well, how do you know if you found your passion? I said, it because that's all you would like to do. If you
And you
had,
love doing that thing.
yeah, you love doing it. You can't wait to start doing it. You get excited. You're like, ooh, I'm going to write today at 5 o'clock, or whatever it is. It really doesn't, you're looking forward to it. It energizes you. You're excited about it. You can't wait to do it. Those are all the things that say, oh yeah, that's your passion. That's what, if it's energizing you, it's a good thing.
Because the thing of it is, when we're in our passion, we are excited, we find joy,
Yes.
and we tap into unhidden potential that we have. Our
Mm-hmm.
purposes are fulfilled in the various areas of our life. So that passion is a very important thing when we want to fulfill our purpose and fulfill our potential, and to step out of our comfort zone.
It really is. It really is. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. And so what happens if you get exhausted? Do you put your writing up, or do you push yourself, or just how does that go?
That's a great question, Val. I had that happen on Sunday, actually. And you can tell, like, if you get to the point where you're getting a little bit overwhelmed, or you feel that it's starting to get forced when you're writing. And so, what I do when I get to that point, guys, I step away.
Step
I
away.
step away. I went outside. I put some music on. I it was some book I had read like years ago. So it was kind of like mindless reading,
Mm-hmm.
and just read a little bit, but pulled myself out of, okay, it's not the time to write, apparently.
Yeah.
So don't force it.
Yeah.
And you do need to take that time to really recharge your batteries. Is it prayer? Is it meditating? Is it this breathing? Is it taking the time to close your eyes and take some deep breaths in and out, and making sure as well. I really try to do this. I didn't succeed last night, like I was telling you, but I really try to get 7 hours of sleep a night. For me, that's key. That's key.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely a good thing. All of us need to get that amount of rest, because if not, we're not going to be able to be as effective, because that rest, people don't realize, getting enough rest, enough water, and eating right, we're not as effective, and we miss out on some things when we don't, because we have to keep our lives so balanced with all the things that we do, because we are so busy. But we have to take that time out for ourselves to just slow it down. And it's hard to do, but it's something that we have to constantly practice at. Because I remember the first book that I wrote, it was a 40-day journal workbook that I did. In fact, we were on our way going to Africa, and we were fasting, and God downloaded it to me, and I started writing. I started writing that thing, and like you said, I didn't put it down until I was finished with it, to send it to the editor so it could be edited, so that I could publish it. And I understand what you're saying when I got so excited about it. I'm like, wow. And I just went for it. So
Yeah.
I understand it. But like you said, when it's time to lay it down, or you're exhausted or you're tired, you're not going to do as well with it. So we have to just be very mindful of that when when we're writing.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Hello, Lachey. Hello, Pat Tucker. How are you? I'm so glad you ladies came out to view with us today. And Gloria came out, and I saw a couple of more, but y'all know I gotta take my time pulling up all this stuff and trying to remember where everything is. Okay. But I'm so happy you guys came out to listen in. Hey, Lasha Wanda, how you doing, Lasha Wanda? I see some of my friends coming out here visiting with us. We're talking about the writing process, and this is CD Giles, who is a romantic at heart. And I named this show "What's Love Got to Do with It?"
Oh, I like that.
That's what I said. Look, CD, I said, "What's love got to do with it?" Look, love got everything to do with it, because
It does.
even all the years that you and your husband missed each other. You, like you
Mhm.
said, the stars lined up everything, and you all have been together in there for what, 20 whole years. So that is a beautiful, beautiful story right there.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah,
So
because we've
listen,
known
tell
each
us
other.
about the series, the Blossom, the Blossom
Absolutely.
series. Tell us about it. And it's two books.
It's
And
two
let me
books.
pull up the
So let
names
me
of the
see if
books so
you
that
can,
people can see what the names of
I don't
those
know if you
books
can kind of
are.
see it. So this one's Could This Be Love?
Okay.
That's book one. That's book
Okay.
one. And then this is book two. It's For You to Love. I don't know
For
if you can
you to
see it.
love. All right.
Mhm.
We talking about love, y'all.
Yeah,
Love.
we talked about love. So for Could This Be Love? I'm not going to try to do any spoilers. So I'm going to try to keep it high level, y'all.
Okay.
But for Could This Be Love? This is a cruise ship romance.
Okay.
They meet on a mega ship. This is
Wow.
one of those ships that has over 5,000 plus passengers.
Okay.
And in the dream that I had, they were on the ship. So in the opening scene, in this one, because and I used to be an avid cruiser before the pandemic. So you know how they say, write what you know.
Uh-huh.
So I know this ship. I've been on this ship several times. But one of the things it had in the middle, it had this hydraulic bar. It's called a high rise bar. And so long story short, they're on the bar. She orders a drink that's kind of an embarrassing name, and it catches Jake's attention, and he engages her in a conversation, and they end up getting stuck on that bar. The hydraulics got stuck when they got all the way up, and they were up there for 30 minutes, and they gave him a lot of time to get to know each other, and he asked her on a date before she would leave.
Uh-oh.
Well,
Uh-oh.
it just starts from there, because it's one of those ships that it has all these different restaurants, so it's perfect for dates. They had clubs inside, so it's perfect again after the dinner where they're gonna go, and then all the excursions and stuff like that. So it's a fun book. It's a fast read. Perfect, like as we're getting spring break is right around the corner. If you're looking for something that's really you just kind of want some light reading. It's fun, it's flirty, it's steamy. So FYI, there is some steam in it, guys.
All right, some steam. Listen, some steam going on. What's love got to do with it? I love it.
You love it. And then for You to Love, it picks right up after they get off the ship. They end up, during that time, they find out that they're both from Texas. Now,
Okay.
he's from Houston and she's from Austin. And what I love about Gabby's 28 years old. She's a venture capitalist. She has a bachelor's and master's degree from Harvard University. Hello.
Wow.
Yep. And her mom's a baddie. Her mom owns her own global political firm that helps these political candidates do all the data crunching, because she's a statistician. And so
Okay.
for me in my books, I like to write strong African American heroines that really tear down those stereotypes. And so I was very when I say intentional, I was very intentional about my writing, making sure that I was writing, a strong female character.
Good. Good.
Mhm.
And what about the male character?
Okay, so Jake is, you may have picked it up, but he is Caucasian.
Okay.
And he is an architect. He's 34 years old. His grandfather started the architectural firm. His grandfather, when the throughout the story, you start to find out that his grandfather, he was very close to his grandfather, and he passed away about a year ago. Jake is a twin. He has
Okay.
his sister is her name is Jack. They call her Jackie.
Okay.
And so what you get to find out in this is just learning more about how strong he is, his character, things that are important to him. He has strong friends in the book as well that you'll get to meet, and he wants to make sure that Gabby knows he wants this to go the long haul, but
All right.
he
All right.
doesn't he don't want to scare her away, so he keeps some of that stuff to himself. But you get and I wrote the book from his point of view and her point of view. So you
Okay.
get to see a little bit behind the curtain on what they're thinking as well.
Okay. Great. Great. Great.
Mhm.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So, what's your next venture with writing?
Yeah, so I'm writing book 3. I don't have a title for it yet, but this one is a best friend, brother's best friend
Mhm.
romance. It's going
Okay.
to be a Christmas novella. It's
Okay.
Jackie, who is Jake's twin sister,
Okay.
and I introduce the readers to Jake's best friend, Travis. Travis is with him on the cruise, and I'm writing the story now for Travis and for Jackie.
All right. Sounds good to
Mhm.
me.
Mhm.
Yes. Yes, well, I will be I will have all of your information in the post, and
Mhm.
people will also be able to go over to YouTube and see this as well, and in the group, in the groups in my group, so and also on my profile, so people will be those that'll come back and do the replays will see all the information about the Blossom series, so that they can go out there and read the book, so that they can get all the other nuggets of what they need to do to find their other significant other. How about that?
Hello, how about that? Yes, yes.
Yes. Well, it was great having you out here with me this evening. This has been a blast. What are some other things that you would like to tell the audience before you go?
If they want to continue to follow me, I have a website. It's cdgiles.com. So I know you have my spelling there. And then also on social media, my handle is at CD Giles Author. So I'm more active, guys. Just I'll be transparent. I'm more active on Instagram. It makes sense to me, but
Right, right.
I'm gonna get more active on the other platforms, including Facebook. But for me, it's Instagram is just so easy to post, etc.
Yeah.
And then I think the other thing I would leave the readers with is, for me, for 2023, I sat down and did a vision board, and I really took a step back and said, okay, what do I want my life to look like? What do I want to make sure? How am I showing up in the world? How am I going to leave a footprint? And just for me, the biggest words that I that continue to come through is intentional. Like, be intentional, be authentic, have some passion, be passionate, and just really own your truth. It is your truth, and own that truth. There's a lot of power in your truth. Don't be ashamed about it. Especially as we age, we have experiences, and all of those experiences are there for a reason. They're either there to teach us something, or for us to grow in some type of way, or to learn. That's a lesson. Don't do that again, or whatever it might
Yeah,
be.
you're right. Yeah, you're right,
Yeah.
because experience is one of the best teachers we can have.
It really is. It really is. So
You
in
know.
my writing journey, I'm really loving where I'm at in the space, and just have opportunity to meet wonderful people, Val, just like you. And I just want to thank you for this platform. I really do. And thanks for this time today.
I'm glad about the connection, really, really. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna always be connected. I don't know if you know that yet,
Oh
but
yeah, I already know it. I already know it. I already knew it. I knew it when I met you.
yeah.
All right. But anyway, thank you, CD, for coming out here with us tonight. And I'll be talking to you in a few more minutes. Guys, that was CD Giles, who is a romantic writer. And like she was telling you, that passion is deep with her about the romance, and that's why I think I named the show in the description, what's love got to do with it? And listen, love has everything to do with it. And up on the screen you can see all of her information, and I will also be posting it. So if you want to get her series, you will be able to locate it and get some of the things that she offers. And what I would like for you all guys to do, I tell you every week, to go to my YouTube channel, guys. Go to my YouTube channel and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Stepping Out with Valerie Harris. And I also have an upcoming book, but I'll be talking to you about my upcoming book soon. And it's called The Effects of Prayer in the Life of a Leader. And so it's a very interactive book. And so I will be talking more about that and sending out information so that you all can also look at that information. But Talk Time Val is about to sign out. But if you want to get in touch with me for a consultation or something that you might be going through or an issue that you might be having, you can always go to my website, www.talktimeval.com, and you can set up a consultation. And I have also been putting in my link, if you want to be a guest on my show, you are welcome to sign up and do the type form and sign up to come on my show, and we can talk about some things that you would like to talk about. But guess what? Talk Time Val is about to what? Sign out. And I had one more comment to come up here. Hey, Tish, how you doing out there, Tish? I didn't want to leave nobody out. How are you tonight? We've been talking about what's love got to do with it. And I had C.D. Giles on the show where she was talking about her series, her books that she has written, and I will be giving further information. So if you want to get in contact with her about the writings that she's done, the series that she's done, because they are very good. So you can do that. All right. So listen, Talk Time Val is signing out, and I will be talking to you a little bit later.